Hi, in this video I'm showing you how I turn this floor into this floor. As you can see, this is an epoxy floor that I just did in my garage, and you can watch this video that I did before on renovating this whole garage and doing all the drywall, all the walls, and putting everything in. But as you can see from the comments on that video, I was lacking a nice floor, and I waited and I tried to debate if I should do the tiles or if I should just paint it, and I didn't trust epoxy, but now I went ahead and I decided to do it anyway. In this case, I'm using that better option, supposedly a professional grade Rust-Oleum paint, and I also did a top coat, which is a clear coat that protects it, and I advise everyone to do it. I don't think I made a bad decision about that. So as you can see in the video, I painted the floor and I did a top coat. So let's just go right to it and let me show you how I did it. First things first, you gotta make sure your floor is clean, and I mean sparkling clean. There cannot be anything on the floor. If you see any bumps, anything like this, any paint, any glue, any oil stains, anything has to come off. Anything you can wash has to come off too. So even if you have to wash it 5 times, do it. It's better to stay a whole day doing this than to have your paint start peeling in a couple of years or even sooner. After you do all that, make sure you use a blower or a broom and brush it out really good. Wipe off your shoes, make sure your shoes are clean, and then start washing. If you have a power washer, great. If you don't, you should probably rent one or borrow one. Some people would go even further and rent a professional cleaning equipment. You can do so at Home Depot. I don't think it's that expensive, probably like 50 to $100 a day. If your garage floor is very dirty or very old, you make sure you do special attention to that. In this kit, there is an etching solution that you can mix with water, and what you do is mix it really well and then splash it on a wet floor. Make sure your floor is wet before you do this, and use a hard broom or a brush and just scrub it and rub it really good. This solution will start going into concrete and you can hear it hissing, and you have to make sure you do it right away. You cannot let it sit. So you scrub it as much as you can, and then you also have to make sure you rinse it very well, even 2 times if you have to. Here is all the equipment you will need. It's a roller, a brush, a tray, and possibly something that you can put your roller on that will help you so you don't have to go down, something like an extender. They have this 2-part solution that you mix together. You press on one side and then the inside seal will pop. You mix it for 2-3 minutes, mix it really well, and cut off a corner on one side, and then you start pouring. You do a line 1 to 2 inches wide, and don't do more, because at the beginning you're going to think that you will need more, but this is enough. 1 to 2 inches wide is really enough. And then as you start painting, go away 1 feet away from your beginning point towards you, like I just showed you. And then when you start rolling, go towards yourself first, spread the paint towards yourself, and then go away from yourself, because like I said, sometimes this doesn't look as much paint, but there it is enough. After you cover a section of 4 by 6 feet or so, you spread the flakes on it and then just let it sit like that. And then you do another portion, another section, and as you can see here, you always leave like 1 foot of space after you sprinkle the flakes like this. So leave 1 foot of space right there, so when you do a next portion, you don't go over the flakes that you just tossed on your floor. make sure you do this in 1 hour or less, because the paint will lose its qualities and it will start to dry inside your bag. So get some help and plan this before you start. The top coat I'm showing here is optional, but I highly advise to do that. You buy a top coat, it's a clear coat, and it comes with these little pebbles, or they're actually really grinded to almost being a powder. So you mix it into a bucket. You don't have to use this. This is if you want anti-slip resistant floor. If you don't have to mix it, but I think it's better that you prevent slipping. So mix the powder into the top coat, mix it really well, and do the same thing. Use a brush at the corners and the edges, and then use a roller. It's kind of tough to see how far you went, because this top coat is really transparent and you have to pay special attention to the coverage. Roll it in few different ways, one way and another one. If you have these cutouts here, then just use a brush to cover everything, and this is what it looks like. It really puts everything together. These flakes are not able to peel off anymore, and gives it an extra protection and extra sheen with that top coat coverage. In my garage, I had all these metal cabinets, so I had to move them. That's why I'm doing these two portions separately. So this is it. It's not that hard. I did everything in a few days, and you can do it too. Hopefully you like this video. I tried to do it as best as I could. And in real estate world, they have a saying, location, location, location. In this case, if you're trying to paint your garage floor, I have kind of similar advice, and it's preparation, preparation, preparation. You have to make sure that you scrape everything off of your floor. You have to make sure that you wash it really good, you power wash it, and you have to make sure that all the dust is gone before you do it. Do it 5 times if you have to. It's better than after a year or a few months or a couple of years that your floor starts to peel. You have to wash away all those stains, all those oily spots, everything, anything that you can find on your floor. You have to grind it and sand it. Anything you have to do to make sure it's perfect before you apply that paint, because everything depends on that. The paint is as good as it gets, and it is what it is. But with the floor, with the preparation, that depends on you. Of course, if you have a very old floor, then that's going to be a lot harder, and I advise that you hire professionals if you don't know how to do it. I like to do everything myself. I like to save money. This project cost me under $500. The paint was around $220. The top coat was around $220. Then you have to buy some brushes. I advise that you use one brush for one coat and one brush for another. Same with everything else, because it's just, I learned that the hard way. If you try to wash the brush, it's not going to go well. You're going to spend more time washing your hands and your sink. It just throw it away. Buy a cheap brush for $4 or $5 and just throw it away after you're done. But all in all, I'm very satisfied the way this turned out. I think it's a quality job. I may do an update afterwards. And then I'm going to show you some spots in this garage too that I don't like, that I think I'm going to be changing. And all in all, I hope you liked the video and you enjoyed it. And make sure you come back for the next time. I'll see you around. This is one of the parts here that I have to fix. These ceramic tiles don't match the floors anymore, and I have to do something about that. I'm thinking of doing another layer on top. Stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.